Once the Super Bowl final whistle blows, that's when I turn into Taylor Sheridan.
Wow.
Okay.
Drama about the Cowboys in Texas. That's me.
You should have.
What? What do you want me?
Good idea.
Taylor Sheridan.
Good idea.
I'm like land.
Or execution.
There was a better way.
You really blew that.
Because there's a lot of drama.
Yeah, I get it.
And I'll be writing the scripts.
Go ahead.
George Pickens, both productive and puzzling. Here he is on his contract with a special cameo from CeeDee Lamb, and guess who else? Micah Parsons. Wow. First of all, perfect question from Clarence Hill. That just made the whole interview.
Well done, Michael. I didn't expect
all right, was this a good idea to sign George Pickens?
Would it be a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't been signed yet.
Well, look, Pickens was fantastic this year. I would be willing to give him the franchise tag.
Oh, he
and
won't
I know
like
he's not going to
that.
be happy. But here's the deal. Okay, we know how great he was this year offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the 7th best scoring offense in the league this year with Pickens being great. Last year, we could throw out Dak was hurt, but they went down to 21. But the 3 previous years, no George Pickens. They were the highest scoring offense in 2023, 4th in 2022, highest scoring in 2021 without George Pickens. So honestly, I would say instead of, other than the franchise tag, if he won't accept that, I would use that money to go get some defensive players. I am going to have a high-powered offense just with Dak and CeeDee Lamb and whatever else we got. So he's great. And I don't know if I'd feel this way, Coach, if Pickens hadn't
Quit
lollygagged in 2 games in the last, few critical games. So that did not sit well with me, and it shouldn't sit well with the Cowboys.
Yeah, if you pay CD and you pay Dak and now you pay Pickens, you're on that Cincinnati Bengals program, and that's hard to sustain. The other issue is this was a great season by George Pickens, but there's been some challenges over the course of his career, and Pittsburgh was willing to move on from him. Typically, when Pittsburgh moves on from a wide receiver, there's pretty good reasons as to why that happens. So whenever you make the decision to pay a player, especially the high market value, whatever behaviors that player has demonstrated, we don't know what's going on in the building. I don't know any of the backstory, but whatever behaviors there are, those things get magnified, and you have very little recourse once you pay that type of money in terms of trying to manage the situation.
Yeah.
So you really need to make that decision, not just in the context of how you're building your team, but also in the context of once we pay this guy, what is that going to look like? And if you could structure a contract where you're chasing the upside, I think that's a much better situation. But a guy like George Pickens with that production is probably going to have alternatives, and I imagine not settle for that structured of a deal.
So I'm a bit of a sucker for charming.
Oh, sure.
Wow.
And I want to root for George Pickens because his talent is undeniable. And when he's in a good headspace, like even in just that little 20 seconds there, I find him, I'm like, oh, this is an affable, kind of funny, good-natured kid.
What about when he's doing wrestling moves on the field?
Problem is he has a long history from college to now of just not being able to stay locked in and professional on the football field. And I would be terrified if that guy did that in the waning moments of his contract year, what he would look like in year 1 of a massive deal. So I thought I was going to be in the minority here because I wrote, this is just not, I wouldn't personally pay this player. But to kind of gel our previous 2 segments, I do wonder if you couldn't in this circumstance use the Bills' open desperation against them a bit. Be like, hey, we are going to, we're going to franchise tag and trade George Pickens to the highest bidder. You guys missed out on Jalen Waddle. You missed out on other things. You're talking about having an explosive offense again. Would George Pickens and a 3rd-round pick be worth your 1st-round pick in Buffalo?
Oh, my God.
I would love,
Holy
George,
cow.
if I'm Buffalo, I would love to get George
But then they then have to pay him and they deal with it. But if you're Buffalo, it's like we're all in as is, and we have a huge need there. That, to me, it would be better use it for Dallas. They traded a 3rd for Pickens to recoup more than that after your production, be good business. and for Buffalo, it would fill a need. So I wouldn't pay him if I were Dallas, but somebody, he obviously, if he were on the open market, would get paid a ton of money.
So Spot Track, for what it's worth, predicts Pickens at 4 years, $122 million.
Yeah, $30 million a year. It's a lot of money.
He's a tremendous receiver.
He's a tremendous player. It's just
when he's
scary.
locked in.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to First Things First. Joining us now on behalf of Natrol is Josh Allen. Josh, we've got 100 questions for you, but first we want to ask you about Natrol, which you're here to promote.
Yeah, I think it just kind of starts off with trying to figure out my training and my diet over the last couple of years, and sleep was maybe one thing that I was neglecting, and finding Natrol and just being able to help prioritize my sleep, dial my sleep schedule in, waking up refreshed, re-energized and ready to go. And obviously this off season's a big one, having a baby, so definitely going to need as much sleep as I can.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, well, you timed it well, though. Off season would be the best time for it.
All right, Josh. So I don't know if you're a fan of print media, but there's been some controversy on the show on whether or not this comic that appeared in a Buffalo newspaper was.
not great.
Machine.
We're in the same suit and tie.
Now, I'm not saying it's you.
Oh, is that Nick?
I mean, there's no way to tell.
It's definitely Nick.
It sure looks like coincidental. My hair, beard, nose, jacket, and tie from like 2 years ago. So go ahead.
No, so I guess it's you can settle it if that's
like
you or not.
to what you're wearing now.
Yeah.
Which is that comic is from 2 years ago, and my wife, who does my clothes, picked this outfit for me 2 weeks ago. So this is a coincidence, but maybe it's meant to be. So here's an awkward question, but I'll just ask it. If you're aware of any of our show or anything I've done, do you think I'm unfair to you?
I don't think so. I mean, I think you guys do such a great job. I think some of these bits where you guys are coming in on stretchers and you're looking like me on my crutches the other day at the press conference.
It's usually me. That's usually me,
listen,
John.
We understand, right? The media is kind of what makes this thing go, and you guys get people talking and having these conversations. And, I like to think of it as I'm good at my job if 31 other fan bases do not like me, right? So for you guys, I don't know. If I was in your position, I was hoping everybody would like me, but I think you're going to have 50-50 people that don't like you to people that do like you. So I get it.
Nailed it. That's first of all, it's a great answer. I appreciate it. Very kind here. Also, and I'm going to sound like someone trying to prove they're not a racist. A lot of my best friends are Bills fans. I like the good people of Buffalo.
Your sister's brother dated.
Exactly right. 100, you nailed it. And the last couple years, it's been, interesting. Obviously, I'm a Chiefs guy, but you guys have been the primary rival. And as we have watched you over the last 5 years evolve and change as a player, one of the, I think, features of the way your play style has changed is you've become, I think it's fair to say, maybe more conservative, more careful. And I don't know if I, from afar, think that's actually the best version of Josh Allen. Or do you just need to go what I call crazy rhino mode and just be the best athlete on the field, kind of more of a Brett Favre style? How do you balance that between being able to do the wow Superman stuff with trying to be maybe more cautious than you were as a younger player?
I think it's all dictated based on flow of the game, understanding where I'm at in the season. Who do we have in there with us? Who's, is our defense rolling? Who's hurt, who's not? Obviously, I want to go out there. I want to make every play, and sometimes it puts me in a bad spot. I understand that, but I think more often times than not, I've made those plays, and I continue to prove that. But obviously, if I can sit in the pocket and be 25 of 25 and don't have to run around, I would love to do that. So that's something, again, as I get older and I guess less athletic as you do with age. I'm not there yet. I still think you still have about till 32 to be in your prime as a male. So I feel like, I still got some time to run around and make some plays, but at the same time, I'm just trying to find ways to help this team win football games.
Josh, you mentioned the crutches, the stretcher, all that. That's usually me for the Ravens. The Ravens have been my team, and they've been getting beat up. And their quarterback, though, I think is in a similar situation as you, Lamar Jackson. all-time great, won MVPs like you have the MVP. A lot of people think you're the best player in the league, and you already have a case that you're a Hall of Famer. And so when you're that high a level of player, especially a quarterback, you know they judge you by Super Bowls. So how much pressure do you feel like just, I got to get that monkey off my back and get the Super Bowl? And does that pressure kind of ratchet up like every year that you don't get it done?
Listen, every year that's been my goal, is to go win a Super Bowl and bring a trophy back to Western New York. That's obviously everybody else is going in the league too. All 31 other teams are wanting the same thing. I played this game because I love it. You know, I never played as a young kid because I thought I'd be in the NFL and getting paid to do what I do and do it for the trophies and the MVPs and all that stuff. Obviously, that's the ultimate goal, is to win a Super Bowl. And it takes so much throughout the season to get there and to go out and win it. And I'm going to keep working tirelessly until we get that opportunity to get it done. But, you know, I've never really focused on the results, more so just going out there and playing the game that I love and how I love to play it. So, you know, if the results come with that, you know, hopefully they will. And I'll be very ecstatic when they do. But if not, I'm going to keep working to find that out.
The big bad wolf in the AFC has been Kansas City. When a lot of people, when they were out of the playoffs this year, a lot of people were like, okay, this is Josh's year. This is the Bills' year. How much of that was in not only your mind, but in the locker room, just because they've been the team that you guys haven't really gotten past all these years? Was that a thought? I don't know if it was a conversation among players, or it had to be somewhat on your guys' minds.
You know, that's something that we don't talk about in the locker room, really. We don't really care so much about who else is in the playoffs with us, how to get there, how to get it done. The short answer is we didn't get it done this year, and that's on us. That's on me. Again, we're going to keep working tirelessly until we find a way to get there and to get it done. I understand the people's thoughts of you don't have Mahomes, no Lamar, no Joe Burrow in the playoffs, but there's some dang good teams in this playoffs, right? They're not there just by chance. They're there for a reason. And the two teams that are playing in the Super Bowl this week, they deserve to be there because they've played the best throughout the season and got hot at the right time. And that is what it is. But we're gonna keep working hard.
What was it like sitting in on the head coach interviews?
You know what? It was a fun time. It was a unique perspective. You know, a little awkward at times because I'm sitting there. I'm getting paid to be the quarterback, right? But I think having that perspective of what the pulse of the locker room is, being able to ask questions and help maybe our, you know, Mr. Pagula and the Pagula family and some of the scouts and ultimately Brandon Beane, who those are guys that make the decisions. But having those questions being asked where they may have not have thought of those as a player perspective. So, you know, it was interesting.
Before we got on air, we were talking about how you're friends with Sam Darnold and live near Sam Darnold. And Nick was saying that my hypothesis...
Wait till you hear this from KW.
This is a fair hypothesis.
It's one of the most ridiculous
ideas
I've ever heard.
It's like if you went to the Big Ten, you root for the other Big Ten teams.
No, they're your rival.
If you're in the AFC East, you kind of root for the other AFC
It's the opposite.
And if two of the wide receivers have been very complimentary of you, and Matt Collins and Stephon Diggs, perhaps your Josh Allen would start rooting for the Patriots. What's good for the Patriots is good for the AFC East as a whole.
Okay.
At the same time, you're buddies with Sam Darnold. I get it. Do you have, who are you rooting for, and how do you see this game playing out?
Listen, I got great respect for both teams. You know, I've been fortunate to know Coach Vrabel for a little bit. Have a lot of respect for him. Drake May, obviously, I've got a good relationship with him. But Sam Darnold, that's my boy. Like, we go back to draft. Even before the draft, we've hung out before the draft when we were in college. We met at some touchdown. I think it was the Touchdown Club of Columbus, going into his sophomore year, my junior year. And like I said, we live pretty close together. We spend a lot of time in the off season together playing golf and hanging out. So I'm rooting for my man there, 14 he wears number 14 for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, so I told you that would be the case. Thank you, Josh.
Matt Collins is a good guy. Matt
I'm
Collins is
sure
giving
they're
you
all good
tips
guys.
on how to do your
likes-
windshield and stuff.
He likes a lot of people, but he's still. Yeah, don't worry. Miles is just trying to get everyone on the Patriots side. You mentioned the Darnold thing, and before you go, I am interested in this because you guys couldn't have been more different prospects. Like Darnold was considered such a safe bet. And the USC, the pedigree, all of it. And you were considered such a raw, like high upside, but project. And yet, 3 years into your career, you guys couldn't have been in more different places. Where Darnold's team is, getting ready to be like, all right, this ain't going to work. And your team's getting ready to make you the highest paid player in the league. And Darnold's progression has been one, yours has been another. What can you tell us about your thoughts on how much circumstance and things almost out of your own control play into how quickly we see how good a quarterback can be and the quarterback kind of development and progression? Because it seems to be no rhyme or reason to some of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a loaded question. I think early success probably a situation, right? And where you fit into that offense, into that organization. I've been fortunate to be part of this organization where, Mr. Pegula and the whole Pegula family has given us resources for us to win football games. I don't know if you can say that for maybe Sam, but for a lot of other quarterbacks that have been drafted high, going into the right spot with the right team around him to go out there and make plays early. But to Sam's point, he's just continued to work hard. He's been at a few different stops. Obviously got his opportunity last year in Minnesota. They let him go, and now he's playing in the Super Bowl for the Seattle Seahawks. So he's worked extremely hard for it. And again, I've got nothing but love and respect for Sammy D, and I'll be pulling for him hard.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Josh. Heal up, and we look forward to seeing you. Hope you have a happy and healthy offseason, and congratulations on the family, too.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
It's a special edition of Bruce Ballot. We were going to do Dark Horse MVP, but decided to just go
I
for the
mixed
real
it up
MVPs,
a little bit.
but maybe later on, Dark Horse.
Well, I mixed it up. I think I'm going to surprise you guys with some of my answers. We're going to start at number 5. DeMarcus Lawrence.
Interesting.
All right, now he has 2 sacks in the 2 playoff games, 3 forced fumbles. So I'm thinking if he can get pressure on your boy Drake, force a few fumbles, maybe get a sack or 2, he could.
Don't hate it.
He could get it. You do hate it because
Well, no, I like
loss.
the rationale because I have a similar rationale on the other side.
You will like this one though. Travion Henderson. All right, I know everybody's talking about Ramondre. This is, I think, the breakaway guy. I could see him. Was it against the Buccaneers? I think 2 runs of 50 or more yards. He's a speedster. I could see him having a huge run that just maybe decided the game.
Interesting.
A 50, 60-yarder.
Can I add
with his
to
wheels.
that? Both of his 3 longest runs of the year have come against split safety looks. This is courtesy of your buddy Bill Simmons.
Nice.
And Seattle plays a disproportionate amount of split safety, so because he has really been out of the game plan the last few weeks. Maybe he's back in for those purposes.
There's some. Can I interrupt? Is that okay?
Yeah.
There's some thought that he's back because of these pass rushes that you have to have Ramondre in there because he can't block. There's another thought, Coach.
It's the first one. They're not saving him.
Josh McDaniels.
It's been secret. They were
Put him on ice a little bit. Hey, Travion, no more film for you.
It was so easy to win the AFC title game by 3 points.
We're
that
throwing
they
the
didn't
ball
need to
away.
give
At some point, we're just punting.
You're not really stashing dudes in the playoffs.
But you like it. I told you.
I like it a lot.
Number 3, I think Nick's going to like this one. Rashid Shaheed. All right. The only guy in the league, Coach, to return both a punt and a kickoff this year for touchdowns. 2 times, I think 2 kickoff returns, 1 punt. And we know about his speed. Even as a receiver, they're going to be obviously paying so much attention to JSN and then Cooper. And so he could even do some things as a receiver. But I would not put it past him to have a great punt return or kickoff return for a touchdown that, again, decides the game. We've already seen him do damage in the playoffs to San Francisco with that. So, and then, look, then at number 2 and number 1, I'm going with the quarterbacks, Drake May. If they pull it off, if it's a shootout, then his numbers are going to be huge. And then, of course, Darnold, number 1. Right now, I'm leaning Seahawks. And Josh Allen gave me another check in the Seahawks department. It's just a lot going on for the Seahawks.
Josh Allen said he likes Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but he was really high on Darnold.
Correct.
That moved me a little bit.
Well, it sounds like they're pretty close friends.
Yeah, that's his boy.
I don't know if that deserves.
Calling the man a liar.
He's Josh Allen.
Yeah, exactly.
He's an MVP.
I mean, he's seen. Let me tell you this much. Here's what I do know. If Josh Allen, after playing the Patriots twice, thought they were a juggernaut, his commentary would have been more, listen, I love Sam and I think he can do it and I'll be rooting for him. But man, oh man, they're running into a buzzsaw. Instead, it was none of that. And
He barely even mentioned him.
Exactly.
I don't think he did.
Probably
So I'm just saying.
tired of hearing about the Patriots. The last thing he wants to talk about is the Patriots.
Coach is trying to get me.
Brew,
on the
can I tell you
grinding tape.
so how much I love the fact that you have Rashid Shaheed on here? And it's because it gives me an opportunity to play a clip I have been trying to play for 2 months.
Oh, for 2 months.
For 2 months. Trade deadline day. Hit the clip. I think the best trade that was made today was Rashid Shaheed. I think that's the most impactful. I think it's the team with the highest chance of going on a real playoff run. You gave up the least amount of real equity. I think he is not asked to be a one-man solution to a problem. So while everyone was talking Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner, this show with an ill-fitting vest that day was saying Rashid Shaheed.
Yes.
And he's been. He was great in the comeback against the Rams the first time around. He was great. He got the playoffs going for them.
He basically ended that game on the
He scored the game-winning touchdown on the opening kick return, and got this game flipped around in Week 16. So I'm surprised.
Call.
I don't know if Coach probably likes that JSN isn't on there because he thinks JSN is just. Patriots are going to be the one team all year
It's hard for the wide
guard
receiver.
JSN.
Well, yeah, because that means the
make it.
quarterback.
But Cooper Kupp won it.
It's possible.
Yeah, Branch won it.
Yeah, Branch was, he was outstanding. He had 11 receptions or something that game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess he could have 11. I like the ballot. I like the fact that you put DeMarcus Lawrence on it. I like adding a defensive player. What's this, his first time in 11 years to have a chance to go to
make it past round 2.
Yeah, NFC Championship game and
All he had to do
Super
was
Bowl.
leave the Cowboys.
And they've talked a lot in the locker room about his impact on the group, especially later in the season, his energy. And yeah, I think that's a good dark horse.
If you like Rashid Shaheed, can I also interest you in Marcus Jones, who has the ability to play defense and also had a pick 6 already in the playoffs. He'll also be returning punts.
And all-pro return.
I agree with that.
Not a bad blitzer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you get a sack, a pick 6.
I view Travion
fumble,
as the answer to Rashid.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.